Mike Barlack here to entertain you with the help of Marius Constant. I just had to make a video. I just finished watching. I bought on DVD end of last year the new Twilight Zone season one of the new one hosted by Jordan Peele, and I just finished watching the episode 6 Degrees of Freedom, and I couldn't help but notice that story mirrored in many ways 3 different episodes of the original Twilight Zone series, story-wise, anyways. Those 3 episodes are Where Is Everybody, the pilot episode of the original Twilight Zone series, 5 characters in search of an exit, and The Monsters Are Due on Maple Street, which is my understanding. I don't think it's happened yet, but in season 2, they're actually doing a reimagine of that particular episode in season 2 of this series, as they did Nightmare at 20,000 feet in season 1. But anyways, but the episode 6 Degrees of Freedom, I just finished watching and I just had to make a video. Sometimes you just get inspired like that. Now, that episode is like those 3 episodes I mentioned, except for The Monsters Are Due on Maple Street. I think, if I remember in that original story, the alien or higher, whatever life, the aliens were, I think they were sinister in that story. They were actually making the human beings bump each other off. But in this story, it's not necessarily established that the alien or the higher advanced life forms are necessarily similar, are necessarily sinister. The Jerry character, though, is almost could almost be considered on almost, not quite, but almost this very similar pedestal to Christ. Stay with me. To emphasize this, you would need to check out a deleted scene in this episode where, to emphasize my point, there's a deleted scene in this episode, 6 Degrees of Freedom, where the captain shows through dialogue, shows that she put 100% faith in her friend, who often also happens to be the ship's either officially or unofficially established psychologist. But yeah, I just had to make a video about that. Incidentally, Marius Constant made the Twilight Zone theme that started in season 2 of the original series. Interesting fact, they paid the guy like $300 to compose the and yeah, it seems typical what the networks did, especially back then. But it's Barry Herman or Bradshaw Herman, who did the original theme music in the first season, which did not have the. But here's another interesting fact: Jerry Garcia of the Grateful Dead composed the Twilight Zone theme that was used in the 1980s Twilight Zone series. I would say that this series here that they have now, this new series hosted by Jordan Peele, is definitely a step up or an improvement from the one that came out in the 80s, and also the O2 one, which the O2 one didn't even last as long as the one in the 80s. But this time around, it looks like they're actually staying loyal to the original Twilight Zone series fans. But I was just story wise, I was just blown away by that 6 degrees of freedom. Like I said, it's like a combination of the three original Twilight Zone episodes in the original series. Where is everybody? 5 characters in search of an exit, and the monsters are due on Maple Street, except for the alien or higher advanced life form aren't necessarily. It's not established in this story that they're necessarily sinister. And the Jerry character is definitely Christ-like. I just had to make a video about that. Thank you for watching. I gotta go ride my bike now. They must be doing something right if there's already a season 2 in the works with the new Twilight Zone series.